Alright, so we're back in Aldrune, and we're gonna go see Laura Serrano in the temple. Some weird shadow there. There you are. Hello. I'm Laura Serrano, a priest of the temple here in Aldrune and a member of House Redoran. Can I make spells? Yeah, okay, I can, but I'm not very good with spells. Do you have any? That's only 1 to 5 points though. Standard restore health, I can take that. Quality restore, yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. That's good enough for me. There. Okay. I want to talk about Bidden. Yes, I heard you rescued Bidden from the Ashland camp. I will make sure House Redrun hears of your deeds. Okay. What are my duties now? Several Redrun soldiers were sent to the derelict stronghold of Andasreth. They have not returned. I need someone to find out what happened in Andasreth. A party of Redrun men-at-arms left for Andasreth and they have not returned. Go to Andasreth and find out what happened to them. If they are dead, as I fear they are, bring their House Redrun shields back to me. I will show you where Andasreth is on your map. Okay, so... Alright. Need to find the shields. Isn't that... I kind of feel like I've heard the name before, Andasreth. Is it like really close by? No, no. Val Isra. Where the heck is it? Am I dumb? Aurora. Moonmoth. He told me he would show me on the map where it is. Why is it not on the map? I have looked through everything. Where is it? Oh, there. There. Okay. Okay, so straight west. We have been there, haven't we? Oh, it's right at the Cartag point. Okay. Narmak. Yeah, we've been around there. I'm not sure if I found the entrance to Andasreth. Then again, there's so many weird names in this game. Like it's really hard to remember. Just like caves and stuff. Yeah, we need to head just straight west, really. Oh, is a good way, or not a good way, but a good day for some running, because there's actually no storm. I feel like I take that shortcut many times, but I kind of always regret doing it because There's just the mountain that you have to traverse as well. Oh, well, not mountain, but the hill there. That's kind of iffy to get over. I probably should just follow the road over instead. You finally got loose from that cairn, didn't you? Good for you, little cliff racer. Good on you, boy. This is what I get for mentioning that it was nice weather. As soon as we get into the West Gash, it starts raining. Yeah, I see you up there. We're on the right track. No. Those are not wild. Let's not kill her Gwar. Yeah. I know I've been here before, but I think I went over the mountain there to find the coast. I've seen this place. I know that, but I don't. I mean, we had no reason to go there at that point. Maybe, just maybe, I got close enough to see the name of it. And this is the propylon chamber. Lomarin propylon. Berandas. Okay. So I've actually never, like, I've watched this game, I think, more than I've played it. But I while playing or watching videos, I've never seen anyone use this. Like, I don't even really know what they're for. I mean, I'm guessing that they are just portals to Lomaran and Berandas, but I have no idea how they work. What do you need to get them going and whatnot. Maybe we'll find out at some point. Oh, hello? Have we been here? This place looks looted. Well, there is a guy there now. take your probe and your lockpick. Ugh. You can keep your steel tanto. Oh. I wanted to try to do a sneak attack on him because I was a little bit surprised that he didn't just or realize that I was there. Because I'm not very sneaky. Annotated Anuwad. Okay. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Padome. They came into the void and time began. As Anu and Padome wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created Nur. Both Anu and Padome were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu and Padome. Retreated from them in bitterness. Nur became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Padome returned, professing his love for Nir. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Padome beat her in rage. Anu returned, fought Padome, and cast him outside time. Nur gave birth to creation, but died from her injuries soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 words of creation and flourished. After many ages, Padme was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattering the 12 words in their alignment. Anu woke and fought Padme again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. He cast aside the body of his brother, who he believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 words into one, Nirn, the word of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Padme struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside time forever. The blood of Padme became the Daedra, the blood of Anu became the stars. The mingled blood of both became the Aedra, hence their capacity for good and evil, and their greater affinity for earthly affairs than the Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 words of creation were the Elnophe and the Hist. The Elnophe are the ancestors of Mer and Men. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn originally was all land, with interspersed seas, but no oceans. A large fragment of the Elnophe world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Elnophe living there were the ancestors of the Mer. These Elnophe fortified their borders from the chaos outside, hid their pocket of calm, and attempted to live on as before. Other Elnophe arrived on Nirn, scattered amid the confused jumble of scattered words, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Elnophe found the hidden land of old Elnophe, and were amazed and joyful to find their kin living amid the splendor of ages past. The wandering Elnophe expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the old Elnophe looked on them as degenerates, fallen from the former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out, and rage across the whole of Nirn. The old Elnophe retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the wanderers were more numerous and toughened by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, sinking much of the land beneath new oceans and leaving the lands as we know them, Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora, and Yukuda, the old Elnefey realm, although ruined, became Tamriel. The remnants of the Wanderers were left divided on the other three continents. Over many years, the Elnefey of Tamriel became the Mer elves. The Dwemer, the Deep Ones, sometimes called dwarfs. The Kaima, the changed ones, who later became the Dunmer. The Dunmer, the dark or cursed ones, the Dark Elves. The Bosmer, the green or forest ones, the Wood Elves. The Altmer, the elder or higher ones, the High Elves. On the other continents, the wandering Elnefey became the men, the Nords of Atmora and Redguards of Yukuda, and the Tsaiski of Akavir. The Hist were bystanders of the Elnefey war, but most their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived to become Black March in Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Nords were the first, colonizing the northern coast of Tamriel before recorded history led to the legendary Isgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harald, was the first to appear in written history, and so the mythic era ended. It's really interesting how the story just started out sounding like they were kind of just switching out words for words that, god damn it, didn't really make sense. I felt like, but yeah, some history there, I guess. It's locked. We don't need to use a master's lockpick there. It's only 20. Oh. Oh. I didn't even see the rat at first. Okay. Hello, Redrun guards. So we need to take their shields. Yeah, I mean the rest of the stuff isn't really worth anything. Like even the extravagant stuff is not really worth much. Then again, they don't really weigh much either, and like adding them all together would be a bit of money. Not that I'm really short on money, it's just you can really never have too much money now, can you? Okay. So we should have We have 4 shields. Okay.
Die, Vexer!
Hey. Give me a lockpick. Eh? No. Sujama. No, I don't want that either. Flynn and Masti, maybe? Oh, Cyrodiilic brandy. Can sell that. What are you? Poison. Sorry, no, it's not worth anything. More Flynn. No, not skooma. Too honorable to sell skooma. No, bone amulet. Yeah, sure, why not? Nice little amulet to give me a tiny bit of health when in a pinch. Yeah. Poison on weapon, hey? Eh. Oh. It's really a problem when you play a whole bunch of different games. I feel like I just end up forgetting buttons. Corpse preparation, the second book. I'm gonna take that. Maybe if we find the other ones, we'll... well, at least the first one, then we can read that one. Dragon Break re-examined. One of the many examinations of the Dragon Break of the Middle Dawn. This one highly critical of arcane you can take that. Maybe we'll read later. Magic Eye. We'll steal that. Anything in here? Oh, hello. Spell. Frost damage. Fortify willpower. Shield. I'll take all of them. I'm not opposed to a bit of magic. Oh. There is no escape. You guys need better protection. No? Yeah, that was oh! Really mean to do this, but we ended up doing it anyway. I think No, I didn't explore this side at all. I don't think I explored the second level fully either. But I have a feeling that this is not gonna give me anything. This is just going... Yeah, it's just going together with what I already did. And... well, we have a little bit there that's not... that we haven't checked yet. I mean, if we have the chance to end the lives of every single one in here, then I feel like we should take it. Take that dwarven battle axe then. That? Oh.
Victor! You will suffer greatly! Oh!
Am I gonna die here? No. Okay. It's a sparky weapon you had there. I started to get a bit afraid that she would be able to end me because my fatigue got so low. Soul trap. Oh, a diamond. Musty. Shield on self. Open lock. Fortify endurance. Ugh. I already have so many enchanted stuff that I don't use. Some restoring potions is always good to have. Is always good to have. Okay.
Your beast!
I leveled up. Hehehehe. Okay. Oh. A chance to practice my lock picking. I'll take that. Can we sleep here? No, there's enemies around apparently. There's the enemies. Oh god. Fire dabblage. Oh. Hey. I finally get use out of my anti-paralyzing potion. Well, for a little bit. Let's take a Restore fatigue. There we go. There we go. Paralyze. Oh. Ash statue? Cursed creation of the sixth house. Capable of corrupting the minds of men and mare. There's a lot of them here. And they weigh quite a lot, without really having the value to back them up. Like they're 4 units each. Not sure. Maybe it's stupid to not pick them up, really, because yeah, I mean they I don't know. They seem kind of special, I guess. Let's grab one. And we'll just put it here. Oh, it actually is like a miniature of those things that I've seen in the caves. Huh. Interesting. I had to rest for 16 hours. Good lord. Okay. We'll take resist magic. Oh, well, willpower, agility, and speed. Speed is always nice. I thought we could end by reading this today. The Rear Guard by Tennis Morrill. The castle would hold, no matter the forces. The walls of Cascabel Hall would never fail. But that was small consolation for Menegar. He was hungry. In fact, he had not been so hungry. The well in the atrium of the fortress supplied him with enough water to hold there until the Fourth Era. But his stomach reminded Menegar minute to minute that he needed food. The wagon load of supplies mocked him. When his army, the forces of the King of Solitude, had left Cascabel Hall, and he had manned the battlements as the rear guard to protect their retreat, they had left a wagon behind to supply him with enough food for months. It was not until the night after they left that he inspected the larder and found that nothing edible was inside the wagon. Trunk after trunk was filled with net charm from the army's incursion into Morrowind. Apparently his Nord confederates had assumed that the lightly opaque material was hardtack in aspic. If the Dunmer whose caravan had been raided knew about this, they would never be able to stop laughing. Menegar thought that his fellow mercenary and kinsman Eirin would have found this amusing as well. She had spoken with great authority about Netch leather, being an expert of sorts on light armor, but she had made a point to mention that it could not be eaten like other leather in occasions of hardship. It was a pity she couldn't be there to enjoy the irony. Menegar thought savagely. Ugh. It was a pity she couldn't be there to enjoy the irony, Menegar thought savagely. He had returned to Morrowind even before the king's army had left, preferring a life as a wanted fugitive to a free existence in the cold of Skyrim. All the weeds in the courtyard had been devoured by the rear guard's 16th day manning Cascabel Hall. The entire castle had been scoured. Rotten tubers in the mulch piles found and consumed. A dusty bouquet in the countess's bedchamber eaten. Almost every rat and insect but the most cunning infesting the castle walls had been tracked down and gobbled up. The castleman's chambers, filled with the acrid, inedible law books, had yielded up a couple crumbs of bread. Menneger had even scraped moss from the stones. There was no denying it. He would be dead from starvation before his armies returned to break the ranks of the enemies who surrounded the fortress. The worst part, said Menneger, who had taken the talking to himself on only the second day alone in the castle, is how close sustenance is. A vast arbor of golden apples stretched acre after acre near the castle walls. The sunlight cast a seductive gleam on the fruit, and the cruel wind carried sweet smells into Cascabel to torture him. Like most Bosmer, Menneger was an archer. He was a master of long and medium distance fighting, but in close quarters he would be but in close quarters, as he would be if he dared to leave the castle and enter the enemy camp in the arbor, he knew he would not last long. At some point he knew he would have to try, but he had been dreading the day. It was upon him now. Menneger put on the net armor for the first time, feeling the powdery, almost velvet texture of the rendered leather against his skin. There was also a barely perceptible throb, which he recognized as the remnant nematocyst of the Netch's venomous flesh, still tingling months after its death with domesticated poison. The combination made him feel energized. Erin had described the sensation perfectly, just as she had explained how to defend himself while wearing the net armor. Under cover of night, Menneger crept out of the back gate of the castle, locking it behind him with a rather cumbersome key. He made for the arbor as quietly as he could, but a passing sentry coming behind a tree saw him. Remaining calm, Menneger did as he remembered Aaron had instructed, only moving after the attack had been launched. The sentry blade glided against the armor and knocked to the left, throwing the young man off balance. That was the trick, and he understood it. You had to be prepared to be hit and merely move with the blow, allowing the membranous armor to divert the injury away. Use your enemy's momentum against him, as Aaron used to say. There were several more close encounters in the arbor, but each swing of the axe and each thrust of the sword found purchase elsewhere. With handfuls of apples, Menneger ran the gauntlet back to the castle. He locked the back gate door behind him and fell into an orgy of eating. Food for week after week, the bossman stole out to gather his food. The guards began anticipating his raids, but he kept his schedule irregular and always remembered when to attack. And when attacked, to wait for the blow. Accepted, then turn. In such a way, he lived and survived his lonely vigil in Cascabel Hall. 4 months later, he was preparing for another seizure of apples. Menneger heard a loud clamor at the front gate. Surveying the group from a safe distance on the battlements, he saw the shields of the King of Solitude. His ally, the Ali, the Count of Cascabel, and their enemy, the King of Faerun. Evidently a truce had been called. Menneger opened the gates and combined armies flooded the courtyard. Many of the knights of Faerun sought to shake the hand of the man they had named the Shadow of the Arbor, expressing their admiration at his defensive skills and apologizing good-naturedly for their attempts to slay him, only doing their job, you know. "There's hardly an apple left in on the vines," said the King of Solitude. Well, I started on the edges and worked my way in, explained Menneger. I brought back extra fruit to tempt the rats out of the walls so I could have a little meat as well. We've spent the last several months working at the details of the truth, said the king. Really quite exhausting. In any rate, the Count will be taking back possession of this castle now, but there is a small detail we need to work out. You're a mercenary and as such responsible for your own expenses. If you had been a subject of mine, things might be different, but there is a certain old rule of law that must be respected. Menneger anticipated the strike. The problem is, the king continued, you're taking a good deal of the Count's crops while here. By any reasonable computation, you've eaten an amount equal to and likely exceeding your mercenary's wages. Obviously, I would not want to penalize you for the excellent job you've done defending the castle in uncomfortable circumstances, but you agree that it's important that we observe the old rules of law, don't you? Of course, replied Menneger, accepting the blow. I'm delighted to hear that, said the king. Our estimation is that you owe the Count of Cascabel 37 imperial gold, which I will gladly pay to myself with interest after the autumntide harvest, said Menneger. There is more left on the vine than you suggest. The Kings of Solitude and Faerun and the Count of Cascabel stared at the Bosmer. We agreed to abide to the stricter rules of law, and you've had time to read the great many books over the time, and you were making your truce. In the Third Era, 246, during the reign of Uriel IV, the Imperial Council, in an attempt to clear up some questions of property rights in Skyrim during those chaotic days, decreed that any man without a leash who occupied a castle for more than 3 months would be granted the rights and titles of that estate. It's a good law, of course, meant to discourage absent and foreign landlords. Menneger smiled, feeling the now familiar sensation of glancing strike diverting. By the rule of law, I am the Count of Cascabel. The rearguard son still holds the title of Count of Cascabel, and he grows the finest, most delectable apples in the empire.